Starting next year, Taiwan will allow imports of US pork containing ractopamine, a controversial animal feed additive. What does that mean for you as a consumer? Formosa News reporter Stephany Yang has the story.
The chef chops the pork, adds it on the rice, and then pours on a generous helping of braised pork sauce. It's warm, savory, and stick to your ribs. Braised pork rice is arguably Taiwan's national dish.
I mean, I like pork in general, and I guess it's a good combination of products.
In my country, I'm from Russia, we don't really eat these fat parts of pork. We basically only eat meat. So I can accept it in Taiwan.
Taiwan is about to lift its ban on U.S. pork containing ractopamine, a feed additive that's given to pigs to make them build muscle meat. Ractopamine is controversial due to its suspected health risks for humans, but food safety experts at the United Nations were able to determine a safe level of ractopamine for human consumption.
As we know, the ADI, acceptable daily intake of ractopamine, is 1 microgram per kilogram of body weight. So, for instance, if an adult with 60 kilograms, the maximum amount he can take ractopamine is not more than 60 micrograms.
Based on the UN's maximum residue level standards, 1 bowl of braised pork rice would contain 1 microgram of ractopamine. That means the average adult male would have to eat 60 bowls of braised pork rice each day before reaching the UN safety limit of 60 micrograms. Yan Zhonghai, a nephrologist at Tanga Memorial Hospital, says that ractopamine is eliminated by the human body quickly.
According to the literature review, the ractopamine, the half-life of ractopamine is just 4 hours. It means that the ractopamine can be metabolized by our human body. There's no long-term accumulation, unlike the heavy metal. The heavy metal, they can accumulate in our body, but ractopamine, the half-life is relatively short, just 4 hours. So after 4 hours, it reduced to half of the amount. So in case I take ractopamine, maybe after 1 day, it's no longer can be found in my body.
Even so, Dr. Yuan advises higher risk groups to be especially mindful of their ractopamine consumption. Patients with hypertension and cardiovascular disease should avoid eating large quantities of pig organs containing ractopamine in a short period of time, as it could lead to increased risk of cardiovascular complications.
Ractopamine is a beta agonist, so I'm afraid that patients with hypertension or cardiovascular disease, if they take internal organ, large amount of internal organ or large amount of ractopamine in a short period of time, they might develop palpitation or chest discomfort. Also, there's an increased risk of cardiovascular complication. So I would recommend that this sensitive group, hypertension or heart problem or stroke, avoid taking ractopamine internal organ.
Dr. Yan says that product labeling can help ensure consumer safety.
Maybe next year, we need to look at the label. I think the government have promised that they need to label the pork product, whether this product is domestic or is imported from the USA, but even it's imported from the USA, it might be ractopamine or ractopamine free. So I think the labeling is quite important.
The government plans to tighten labeling requirements to meet the arrival of U.S. pork. Ministry of Health and Welfare Chen Shizong says that starting next week, his ministry will go to markets across Taiwan to demonstrate the use of labels. Formosa News, Stephany Yang, Yu in Taipei.